Well, that's it guys, the decade is done. And needless to say that this past decade was pretty impactful on me. I became a college student, I had 10 birthdays, and so much more that I really hope to share with you guys. As you'll probably be able to figure out, this footage I was trying to both talk about this topic and play the game at the same time, which for whatever reason I thought it was a good idea. However, I soon found out a few minutes into it that trying to talk about and think about a specific subject while trying to focus on a video game are two very different things that are not always easy together. But whether or not you're a member of the Squatchkin Nation or so happen to just stumble upon this video, I hope to share some of the past 10 years of my life, what made those years so important and memorable to me, and ultimately talk about what this decade meant to me. So, to start things off, and this may come as a surprise to you, I didn't even have internet till this past decade. Yeah, I know, right? A random guy making YouTube videos and doing streams didn't have internet access until within the past 10 years of his life. Wow, that's really weird, isn't it? But yeah, that's really true. I didn't have internet until the recent decade. And the internet introduced me to a whole bunch of things that I'm actually going to be talking about, such as online games, online content such as YouTube, streaming services. All these different kinds of things were introduced to me within the past decade. And I think that really affects how I am when it comes to social media, because I'm not huge on social media. And when I say I'm not huge, I don't mean in the way of, oh, I'm not very popular. I mean in the way of, I don't really post a lot to Twitter. I don't care much about posting on Facebook. I don't care much about clout. I have fun doing what I do, but it's not like social media rules my life. My life doesn't revolve around social media. I'm barely getting into it, but I'm not really going to go obsessed with it like some people tend to. That being said, I am still here and I am still enjoying my time and I am having fun where I am. The internet has introduced me to a whole bunch of things, memes being one of them, which I had no idea about until I got access to the internet. And even then, it was a thing of I kind of had to learn about it because I wasn't part of the internet culture. I just barely got into the internet culture and I started getting into it. And I still remember that some of the first content creators I used to watch was the Yogscast, Lewis and Simon. I really got into them. And honestly, they were a huge part of me getting into internet culture. So that was a lot of fun. I do remember that, and that was very memorable to me. But even more so, what made a big change in my life in the recent decade is moving from the last generation of consoles to, at the time, the current generation of consoles, which was from the PS2 to the Xbox 360. I have the original PlayStation 2 that's big, bulky, it's like a giant brick, and I loved that thing. When I got a new game for that, I would jump on there and try and play it as much as I could, and I would just binge that thing. I would play it non-stop. I loved the PlayStation 2. It was a great console growing up. So when I moved on to the Xbox 360, I was introduced to all this new stuff, this new world of video games that I had no idea or couldn't even experience properly and effectively before, beyond those little showcasings that they had in the stores where you could pick up the controller and play some of the games that they had there. And the Xbox 360 introduced me to some of my favorite games of all time, those being The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, which is my first introduction to the Elder Scrolls franchise, and of course, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, an extremely fun anime fighter that I really consider one of my favorite games of all time to this day, that it's really hard to top because it's just that much fun of a game. The story and the characters, while a bit dumbed down, are still hilarious and fun nonetheless. And I'm really hoping they make it backwards compatible on the Xbox One. Come on, Microsoft. Make it happen. But with the Xbox 360 came my introduction to online play, and the online play, oof, oh boy. I cannot tell you how many hours I put into Modern Warfare 3. I put so much time into that game. It was so much fun. Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2. The Xbox 360 was my introduction to online gaming, and oh boy, was it a heck of a way to start. The countless amount of hours that I put into playing online, the way it introduced me to new people, both toxic and non-toxic alike. Mainly toxic, but I'm not going to focus on that. But the Xbox 360 was a very interesting jump because before that, like I said, I had the PlayStation 2 and that's all I kind of knew. But the Xbox 360, the graphics were so much better, so much more incredible. I had been introduced to this world of games, Gears of War, Call of Duty. I had all these introductions I didn't really experience or know until then. Still, my time with the PlayStation 2 did teach me to appreciate every single game I got and find any enjoyment that I could in them. And if I didn't enjoy those games effectively or properly, even if it's just having fun with the game, there is a problem if I can't find any enjoyment in the game. Honestly, those years with the PlayStation 2 being my only console taught me that. And that's a lesson that seems really cheesy, seems really weird, but I do take that with me and I do cherish that. It was a console that taught me some lessons, some values, but moving on to something else taught me some more things and other things that were very important for my growth as a person and an individual as a whole. With that, I was able to stay in contact with some friends and meet some new and interesting and incredible people that changed my life. And that's not an understatement. I legitimately met people that, whether or not I keep in contact with them to this day, they have made an impact in my life. And online video games has made it easier for me to stay in touch with people because if we ever miss hanging out or playing something, we could just hop online and play it again or play something at least a little bit similar to it. So that has been a very interesting and important part of staying in touch with people, staying in contact and interacting with them, because playing a game with somebody is so much more different from just talking on the phone with them, from just sending them a text message or tagging them on social media. It's so much more different, and it's just a lot more personal in my opinion. Maybe I'm just overvaluing it, but that's just me. And I'm okay with it just being me overvaluing it. But with the introduction to the internet, of course, came YouTube. And with that, in recent years, I actually started my own YouTube channel as you are watching it right now. Hey, how's it going? But you are here, you are still watching, I hope. If not, yeet. But just overall, thank you anyways. But I started my own YouTube channel and it's just, I'm doing it for fun. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I started doing streams and those things have introduced me to a whole plethora of people and life experiences. It's because I stream sometimes that I'm able to go to events and offer to stream the event. I volunteer my time. It's not any huge event. It's not like, oh my gosh, I'm going to Anime Expo, or oh my gosh, I'm going to E3. It's nothing huge like that. But they're smaller events, and they're events that I donate my time to because I just enjoy it that much. And it's something that I'm starting to learn and grow about, and I would like to, I guess you could say, branch out, but also experience with that. And I do believe that because of the way I'm going about it, how I'm volunteering for certain events that I actually do stream, it helps me get to know people, it helps me get out there, and that's something that's always good, especially when it comes to doing content creation, or even if you're just looking for a job. It's always good to get your name out there and just network. And I do believe that this kind of platform, these things I do for fun, help me do that. They help me put my genuine self out there, and that's the thing. I put my genuine self out there. I'm not trying to put on a sort of mask or whatever. Whenever I'm yelling at a game or whatever, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying my time. But at no point do I ever try to show this macho side of me, this side that's all about winning. Oh, win, win, win. No, that's just not me. As long as I'm enjoying myself, yeah, of course winning can be fun, but it doesn't matter to me about trying to make this facade, make this character. As long as I put who I am into something and know that I am being myself, that's what matters to me most of all. I don't want to be fake. I don't want to be someone I'm not. And that's why I'm glad that I'm experiencing these things as the person that I am. But since starting YouTube and started streaming, I've been seeing people from all over the world come into my streams, and that's been something that just blows me away each and every time someone says, oh, coming from Normandy, or coming from Germany, or coming from Japan, or Hawaii, or someplace in the world. That blows my mind, and it blows my mother's mind too every time I tell her. I tell you what, she freaks out, she trips out, she says, he gets viewers, he gets people watching. And it's nothing crazy, it's not these crazy big numbers, but it's just mind-blowing how easy it is to connect to people through these platforms, through these kind of outlets, and it's just really amazing, really incredible. I'm starting to rant about this. I should just make another video about this whole topic entirely. I said topping like on an ice cream cone, but you knew I meant topic. That has overall, without a doubt, had an impact on my personality, had an impact on just how I interact with people. It's had an impact on me keeping in touch with people, making memories with them, and just going forward in life knowing these things. And I overall value that and really am happy about that. I would not trade any of that for anything, because it just meant that much to me. It just still means that much to me. To this day, my Alien Isolation livestream is my favorite stream so far, not because of how many views it got, not because of the game itself. The game was fantastic, it's amazing, I love the game, I want the sequel to come out already. But the most important thing, the biggest deal of that stream to me, was how many people from different walks of life showed up. And that just blows my mind away every single time, and I love it. Absolutely great, glorious, I just love it. I'm starting to ramble on for too long, but yeah, it has overall changed my life. The past decade has been a decade of change, and it's been a decade that affected my life in the most amazing way possible. I've had my ups, and I've had my downs, and I have my room for growth, and I have my room for improvement I would hope to share with you guys. So overall, what this past decade meant to me, it changed the script, it changed everything for me, and I wanted to keep going. So that's my thoughts, that's what it meant to me. A little bit more personal this video, and I feel like that's how I wanted it. So thank you all very much for watching, I really do appreciate it. Leave your thoughts and opinions about the past decade in the comment section down below. Just what do you want to share? Your best experiences, your worst experiences that you've glad or done, or if you're just glad you stuck around this long as a Squatchkin, because as we all know, everyone in the Squatchkin Nation is loved. Gosh, that sounded creepy. Alright guys, I'm gonna end it there. Thank you all very much for watching. I'm gonna end it before I ramble on too long. And as always, I am Pumpsquatch. Goodbye.